Random thought. The people criticizing Coach Prime for taking that University of Colorado job, they are the real sellouts. Hey, welcome to the show. I'm Yanni Rude.
And I'm just Terrell. You ever been out somewhere and overheard two people having crazy conversations?
Yeah, well, we are those people, and we've been having these conversations since college.
Yep, it's the Regular Guys Random Thoughts Podcast, episode 112. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, rate, and leave a review.
Very good. You remembered all of that. That was good. That was actually.
I know. It's because I'm drinking vodka right now. It's not bourbon.
So no whiskey to kick the show off tonight, huh?
No. I got to get a little more comfortable with this whole live thing first because, bourbon takes away the filter.
Yeah. Bourbon erases a bunch of things. And, a big shout out to Robin right here, man. He said, good evening. I'm here for the inaugural live stream. This is going to be an interesting one because this is no edits. And we've always, as we've gone along, we hadn't had to edit too many things as we went. But, there are always a couple things that get left on the cutting room floor. Nothing's left on the cutting room floor tonight. So Let's get going as we kick it off with what everybody's talking about. Coach Prime. Prime time. When the announcement came, and there was so much. The rollout of this was amazing, right? And then all of a sudden you see people calling him sellout. I'm like, what the hell? And then that's when I get this random thought that the people criticizing Coach Prime for taking this job, they are the real sellouts. And I'm saying that because do you even know what it means to be a coach and why and what this means as a whole? But before I even dive into all that, I mean, like, for you, we've been waiting to hear what you think about this. So I'm not going to get off my soapbox and let you talk about Are you fine with Coach Prime leaving Jackson State to go to, snowy Colorado?
Yes, because it's beautiful in Colorado. But I don't fault him at all. I think he's worked really hard. He's done some amazing things there in the SWAC. And to quote Coach Prime, you either elevate or get terminated. You're either elevated or terminated. He's elevating his career. So I don't see anything wrong with what he's doing. And I have no issue with Dion. My issue is with the SWAC itself.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What's the problem you got with SWAC? Because who is SWAC?
Who's SWAC? Who's SWAC?
I am SWAC.
So here's my issue with the SWAC. They have money, right? And if they wanted to keep Dion, I'm sure they could have tried to figure out a way to do that. But now the pressure is on them of who are they going to get to replace Dion? So that's the thing. They can go out and get a Dion type talent and pay him, but this is on the SWAC. They have to figure out how they're going to solve it because there's a lot of momentum that Dion did on his own that helped all those HBCUs. So now what's the SWAC going to do to respond? And I think for black people to say that he's a sellout, that's crazy. That's like me saying, hey, Yanni, stay at that job making $50,000 a year. Be loyal. I know they're offering you $300,000. Stay here with the brothers. Stay here with the black people for $50,000 a year. Like, that makes no sense.
The crazy thing about it is, I think initially when the whole thought process of when he was going through the interview process, right? Dion was saying, like, look, me getting a Power 5 job is not going to change my lifestyle. And you understand why. This man made money. He's got money. And his lifestyle is way above what Jackson State is paying him right now anyway, right? So, but what he did say, he actually is going to change, it will change the lifestyle of the people around him.
Yeah.
And I think what we saw in some of those videos of them taking a tour of the facility, is like he goes, yeah, these guys have been with me. We've been together for 20 years. So what they have seen is so different. Because they're not getting Dion money. Because, yeah, we cool and I'm going to bring you along, but I'm going to teach you how to fish. You ain't eating all my fish.
Yeah.
and you think about it. So I think Dion's salary was what? I want to say, I saw somewhere that it said he was making like $500,000 at Jackson State, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not assuming that the next coach is going to get $500,000 because they're not Dion.
Right.
But if they give him $250,000 and you were making $75,000, even $100,000 as an assistant coach to Dion, that 250 is a big upgrade. He's enriched his life. Anybody he takes with him to Colorado, they're gonna get a pay increase too. So he's right. It's not changing his lifestyle. It may change, his attire, his swag, because he's got to dress a little warmer. But other than that, he's really changing the lifestyle of those around him.
Exactly. And I think the way he's doing it, I respect the fact that he didn't give a yes or no to the media, to his team until after the game.
Right.
On Saturday. And so I respect that. And he's trying to encourage people to stay and not just jump into the transfer portal because he's leaving, even though a lot of those players did go there to be with him. Totally get that. But this is a business. This is how it goes. But did you see his first team meeting with the Colorado players?
Yo, I don't think they've been following Deion before because they all look shell shocked.
They look shook. Because
shit.
They looked shook because Deion was just like, look, I'm coming. And pretty much he said, a lot of y'all aren't going to be here. So if you want to get in the transfer portal, go ahead and do it now. I'm bringing certain players already with me. Yeah. And he said, I like how he said, I'm bringing my own luggage, and my luggage is Louis Vuitton. And then he pretty much scolded them and said, we don't have facilities like this at Jackson State, and you guys don't appreciate it. So
he's right.
Like, tell him, Deion.
Well, okay, couple things there. Colorado was 1-10 last year, right? Because there are people already criticizing him for saying, here's your starting quarterback. Shador, this is your starting quarterback. He's going to have to earn it, but this is your starting quarterback. Well, the other quarterback got them one win. Trust me. He wasn't going to start anyway. And the other people who were criticizing Deion said, well, what about the recruits you had come in, like Travis Hunter, who was the number one DB recruit? We talked about him a couple months ago, right? And, well, he says he's bringing some people with him. So Travis Hunter is one of those people coming with him, right? You already know that. Right. But here's the other part. It's not just what he said to the Colorado players, because when he first announced to his team, and he told them, before all y'all go jumping in this transfer portal, understand, not all y'all gonna make it. Right. And that was an honest statement, and that's what he's always done, being honest in what he's saying. Like, look, here's what it is, right? So I'm not mad at him for it, and I think it's great that he's actually being that open. So what you saw in that Colorado first team meeting is great for what he did for the last one. With Jackson State and just giving them that. And I see here, Robin put up that he is making, he was getting $300,000 at JSU. He's getting $5 million at Colorado. He'd be a fool not to take that money. And just like, which is what he said, I'll be a fool not to entertain. But, and I think people forget, because you think Colorado, they haven't been significant or relevant for 20 years, right? But for those old school who remember football, Cordell Stewart. For our Real Housewives fans, Portia's first husband, Cordell Stewart, the original Slash in the NFL. I mean, he was a beast at Colorado. Was it Rashawn Salam who won the Heisman Trophy, the running back? The Colorado Buffaloes were a beast back in the day. This is a Power 5 conference. Deion is the first one to make it. So anybody calling him a sellout, I think they're the real sellouts, because you're not understanding what's happening. You're looking at it as he's going to this predominantly white university and he's abandoning the HBCU. He's not going to stay there. Right. You do a job to elevate and go to the next one, right? Am I crazy here?
No, you're 100% right. And this is where it comes to the athletic director at Jackson State. If you have somebody that came and elevated your program and they're going to go on to something different, it's your job to figure out how do you maintain what's there. If you don't, then that's on all the leadership decisions on who the next coach is and all that stuff. That's going to be their fault. I think he's created a system there. He's created a culture that just because he left, I think the players are still going to have it because they freaking dominated. 12-0. Yeah. And my money is going to be on them in the championship game.
Oh, yeah. No, they got to go out with a bang. And I like how he told the Colorado players, like, hey, I'm about to go back down here. We're about to win this game because I got something to finish. Then I'm coming back for y'all. Those of y'all that decide to stick around, you're going to hell. Yeah. If you make it out on the other side of hell, we'll see you on the field. I love his whole Tarzan. I don't want to find out come Saturdays we got Jane, when in practice we had Tarzan.
I saw that. I was just like, damn, Dion, just whatever. But I just love his attitude and the tone that he's going to bring. It's going to be interesting to watch what that Colorado team does. And it might not happen as fast in his first season, but it's Dion. I wouldn't put anything past him. I mean, the dude has the Midas touch.
Well, it's the perfect time for him to do it because with the NIL and the transfer portal the way it is, it allows for that. And he's making an opportunity for his players to earn by, I'm going to make you guys famous, okay? Because we're going to have cameras. This is the way we're doing it. He's got his son helping out with social media, everything else. I love what he's doing and taking advantage of. And I love the fact that he went here, a program that hasn't been relevant for 20 years, as opposed to going to, because people are like, well, if it was Florida State, I could understand. And that's the problem. You keep looking, you're looking from starting point to finishing point already, forgetting everything that's in between. You've got to take steps. You can't just, that's that millennial shit, see? That's that millennial shit. I've been here 2 days. Why am I not a manager already?
Well, and you got people questioning his loyalty. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Those of us in the business world know you're loyal to yourself. I'm not loyal to any company. I'm loyal to Terrell first. And if the right opportunity comes along for Terrell to go leave a great opportunity at an HBCU to go take on this Power 5 school, I'm going to do it. Yeah. I can't be like, I know, I just love this team here. I love the fans. No, the team and the fans aren't paying my bills. Even though Dion doesn't need it, it's the exposure and what he can do for other people by going to those conferences and going to that different team and be able to elevate so many of those players that are going to become there to help make them great. So totally disagree with people who have an issue with Dion. And to Pam Cochran, I'm drinking vodka soda. Vodka soda. If I drink coffee this late at night, I'm not going to be able to sleep.
We're already talking about also the fact that, if we do this whole the coffee during this live broadcast, we have to take some breaks in between. Somebody else who got caught in this crossfire of what happened was, Shannon Sharpe, because he tweeted out, I went to an HBCU, but only because I was Prop 48. It worked out great for me. Had I had the grades coming out of high school, I wouldn't have chosen an HBCU. And people, it was like, all of a sudden people discovered what HBCU stood for, and now everybody's super pro-black. And they attacked Shannon Sharpe, who went to an HBCU, played at an HBCU, went to the NFL, is a Hall of Famer, and now they're mad at him because he said, if I had better grades, I would have gone somewhere else?
So I read that, and I saw all these people that responded to his tweet with, I'm so disappointed in that comment. Why? He just said a true fact. If Bama was trying to recruit him at that time, and he had the Bama opportunity, the HBCU opportunity, he would have went to Bama. When you think about what his career did. Now, I love how Shannon's clapback is. It's like, hey, I had the opportunity to leave that HBCU and go somewhere and transfer. I didn't. I stayed the whole 4 years, and it worked out for him. And I think what he's talking about is just big picture, is that it worked out for him. It doesn't mean that everybody that goes to an HBCU is going to have Shannon Sharpe opportunities.
Right.
Fact,
but the thing about it too, I mean, he went to an HBCU and he stayed at the HBCU, Savannah State University, because he said he was having so much fun. And you went to an HBCU. You also went to a PWI. I went to an HBCU and I also went to a PWI. Now we both went, and that PWI.
Predominantly white institution. I just want to make sure that everybody might not know what PWI is.
It's a PWI. It's a PWI.
Yeah, what's a PWI? I thought Terrell majored in communications. What's
And the thing about it, so we both went to the UTSA first, right? To the predominantly white university first, and then ended up at HBCUs for different reasons. And for me, it was because my mama tricked me. She dangled UNC in front of me, and then they went out when they came back. Was like, so we found Fayetteville State University. I was like, huh? The hell is a Fayetteville State University? But I will say, I was glad I went. I loved it. I mean, great experience, and having been at both institutions, both styles of institutions, I will say, there's a very different experience. The first thing I noticed when I went on the HBCU campus was the student handbook. And the first line, I opened the page, I saw Fayetteville State University does not condone sexual activity. I'm like, wait a minute, what school is this? Thought this was college, goddamn.
I guess you got to throw them condoms away. I need these.
Considering when we were at UTSA, you had co-ed dorms. The limitation on visitation was no more than 3 days in succession. So we're like, what are you talking about? And this other one was like, if somebody comes to visit you between these hours and these hours, the door still needs to be propped open. I'm like, what kind of jail is this?
So I could say that going to UTSA first. Now the reality is there's two different types of Terrell that started. That was in college at the PWI and then the HBCU. When I was at UTSA, I was very immature, and I wasn't a good student by any means. I was good at partying. I was great at that. But actually studying and learning and paying attention to all this just wasn't my thing. Right. So I just failed out of college. And then when I moved to Austin to go, I was looking at UT and Houston-Tillotson. And I picked Houston-Tillotson because at the time I was an alpha. And so every president of the college had always been an alpha. I liked that. I knew the fraternity brothers there at that campus, but it was a smaller campus. It was around 500 or 600 students. So you just didn't feel like a number if I was going to go to UT. You had a lot more intimate relationships with your
Wait, did you say
professors.
500 or 600 students?
Yeah.
That's
when
it?
I was there. That's when I was there. It was about
Holy
500 to 600
crap.
students. And so
I thought we had a
you
small
got a
school.
chance to know your advisors. You got a chance to know your professors. If you needed one-on-one time, there was no issue. Now, I will say I did notice some differences. UTSA was here's the policy, here's the structure, this is what we do here. I remember my first time signing up for classes at Houston-Tillotson, and at the registrar's office, she's like, well, I'm sorry, that class is filled. I was like, come on, Sarah, hook me up. She's like, okay, you're in. So,
wait a minute.
It was all about who you knew.
And that was the invention of the hookup. Yeah, but different, like you said, different experiences. Because of course, the bigger numbers at UTSA. The last year I was at UTSA, it was 17,000 students, right? 3% of those students were black. We knew every last one of them, whether by name or just because everybody hung around together. Here's the difference I noticed. One of the things that I found to be that much better was that at UTSA, because we were so small, we were very united, right?
Yep.
I mean, think about the way you and I met and almost button heads at first. But with anybody on campus, if you butted heads with somebody black, you got over that real quick because there wasn't that many of us on campus. So we're like, all right, well, I'll see you at the next party. We good.
Yeah.
You get to a place where it's now you said 500 to 600 people. We had 5,000 people at Fayetteville State. And the one thing I can say is we didn't have the kind of unity that we had at UTSA. And the only reason because it was 5-1 women to men. When you put that many women around that many young horny men, you know what happens. People always try to dibble and dabble and not stick with their 5 and try to get some of the other person's 5. And so there's always issues.
Yeah, I could totally see that. And I think I went to Houston-Tillotson when I was older. I was in my early 20s. And so normally, if you're coming in first time, you have to live on campus. I was like, I'm grown. I have a full-time job and I have an apartment. So I didn't have to do that. But I was a different type of student where I think if I went when I was younger, just the energy, right? You go at UTSA, you go to the basketball game, you got the cheerleaders and all that. That's great. You go to Houston-Tillotson basketball game, there's a DJ on the stage.
Yes.
The fraternities and sororities are strutting around in between timeouts. I mean, it's live. It's like a party. And mature Terrell was like, I can handle that better than 18-year-old Terrell. I'd have been like, ooh. And I wasn't like dating anybody on because I didn't live there. Most of them were all younger anyway. So it was a different approach, but I appreciated so much that I got from that. And I think if you got to think about scholarship students, let's not talk athletes. Let's just talk academic scholarship. If you have someone that gets an academic scholarship to Jackson State and an academic scholarship to Duke, if they choose Duke, are they a sellout?
Yeah, exactly. No.
Now it depends on what they want to do. If you want to major in education, I'm like, well, you sold out because you could have got that same education degree at Jackson State. So it's not a difference. Like, no one's hiring, elementary school teachers like, ooh, wait a minute, you went to Duke compared to all these other people that went to every other school and majored in biology and wants to teach science. Doesn't matter.
Like Dina says here, as a Howard U grad, the resources were not the best back in the 90s. 2 computers to 50 students in the lab. And the resources are different at an HBCU than at the PWIs. But here's the thing that I did notice, right? Like, here's one of the things at Fayetteville State that was amazing. Because I joke a lot about, what the ratio was, women to men and all that other stuff. But really and truly, I'm a communications major, right? So when I get there, there's a 100,000 watt station on campus. And they let us actually get in the captain's chair and run that thing. Are you kidding me? And to make sure you understand the amount of power that is, there are a lot of your favorite radio stations you listened to growing up that were 50,000 watts. The one on our campus was 100,000 watts, okay? We had a lot of reach. And then there was also a TV studio on campus. And when I got there, nobody was using it. So 4 of us got together and we're like, all right, let's do something. We're going to use this. And we created our own show, Elevating Voices, right?
Yeah.
When we did that, then a new chancellor came in and we did a feature on him. Then all of a sudden, every department on campus wants to be featured. And so many students want to be involved in this. So the next semester, all right, let's bring some more people in. And again, this is all the things that you can get to do on the smaller campus, where if we were at UTSA, with 17,000 people, you're not going to have that kind of access to these type of facilities, right? But we have 30 people show up who are like, okay, I want to be a part of it, until you tell them they have to do all the work, and they're like, yeah. All right, so the next meeting we had 5 people.
But 5 committed people.
There you go.
5 committed people, you can do some great things. And I agree with Dina. The resources were different at UTSA compared to Houston-Tillotson. But can I tell you where Houston-Tillotson had UTSA beat?
How?
Seasoning. The food out of Houston-Tillotson was amazing. I mean, the food out of the cafeteria was delicious. And I'm not even a breakfast person. I would drive down early just so I can go hit breakfast up because it was delicious. UTSA's food, a little bland.
Hold up.
Little bland. Had raisins and a potato salad.
I'm not going to let you do that because we had a Chick-fil-A on campus. I'm not going to let you do that.
Okay, but we didn't have any restaurants on campus at Houston-Tillotson. We had to depend on the cooks. So they hooked it up.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so look, y'all going to get off Shannon Sharpe. Let that man live because he said enough dumb stuff for us to jump on his back on. But him saying that he would have chosen a PWI had his grades been better is not a knock. There weren't a lot of people rushing towards HBCUs for years. It's only now. People rushed to the CIAA tournament, had no idea there's even a basketball tournament happening because they were going for the day party. So I don't want to hear people all of a sudden being extremely pro-black just because now it's the in thing. I like the fact that we're now putting this focus on HBCUs, and that's great because we do need more of us at HBCUs. But at the same time, don't be mad at that man for taking what his, making that choice. If he had the choice, he didn't. So, and when he had the opportunity to leave, he stayed. So let's go that route.
Yeah.
There's something that popped off last week. As I'm assuming there was a private investigator involved here, obviously. TJ Holmes and Amy Robach. What's happening here, man? Because I think they were missing from TV this morning.
So I didn't really know much about these folks. I don't really watch Good Morning America, but the anchors on Good Morning America. And apparently there's been a lot of rumor and speculation about the closeness of their friendship. Both are married. So now it comes out that TJ Holmes and Amy Robach, I think, were having an affair now. And I think that they had left their, because I mean, it's all these different stories you're trying to catch as it goes. But
right.
I think they left their potential partners and started dating each other, but they still weren't divorced yet. But they're both now, they did a disclosure to say they have a relationship, and then Good Morning America shuts them off. I don't know if they're suspended or what's going on with that, but I was just like, that's just Jack. They disclosed it. They said, hey,
Yeah.
we're dating. Why can't they continue to date? And
it's not like this is the first time this happened, especially even in morning TV, because Morning Joe is getting a lot more than just a cup of Joe in the morning, because they were kicking it for years, and then they got married, and maybe that's what makes it good, right? Well, I think it's the aesthetics, right? It has to be the aesthetics, and the fact that who are the viewers of this third hour of Good Morning America? It's not you. It's not me. You and I were never watching this, right?
right.
Who is mad at these at-work relationships? And now, granted, they were married, so obviously she's on the way out of her marriage, and apparently so is he, and he's been on the way out because his 10-year anniversary challenge post basically said, I tried to make her leave me before, and she wouldn't, so it's an interesting dynamic to see what's happening here, because they were on air Friday after all this came out, and even kind of laughing and joking about it indirectly. And maybe that's the part that doesn't. Maybe that's the part. I don't know. I'm trying to understand what's the real foul here in this entire situation.
I don't know either, and I'm waiting to see what's going to come out. Maybe that there's more to this story, right? But I don't know about you, but for me, as long as you can do your job, I don't care who you sleep with. When I go to Starbucks and get a coffee, I'm just like, wait a minute, are you in a relationship? Are you faithful? You love each other really well? Okay.
I need that other person to make my coffee.
I don't care. As long as the coffee tastes good. Yeah. I don't want him to make my coffee. He cheats. You over there. I want you to make it. I just don't care. But I just wonder, like, why. I just find it interesting how especially in these, high profile celebrity folks, why does it matter who they're sleeping with? Report the news, if you call it news, on Good Morning America. Report the news. That's it.
It's more conversation around news, because that's that third hour that becomes more so that morning TV, and you see it around a lot of local places as well too, on local channels, where they don't put their serious anchors on these shows, because there's a lot of other and a lot of paid news in there as well, paid interviews and whatnot. So, but yeah, I guess and like Robinson said, it's like you're supposed to report the news, not be the news, and maybe that's all part of it too.
But they didn't try to be the news. The media, this is the media fighting the media. The media did that. They didn't come out there and they didn't come out there like just start tonguing each other down in the studio.
This ain't the media. This is his wife. His wife was like, "Oh, we're about to do this. Oh, we're about to finalize this divorce. Pi, come here. I need you to go get some. Give me some evidence. I want 60%. I don't want 50.
We need to make some edits. But I mean, it's interesting to see where this is going to go, because I'm betting there's more to this than they left their partners and they hooked up. I think there's more to it, and apparently, TJ is a bit of a player, because now of course there's more people. Who else has he slept with? Who else has he hooked up with? Some of that stuff starting to come out. So I just find it fascinating.
He was supposedly messing with somebody else on the staff before, right?
Yep. Another producer. What's that coach at used to be the coach of the
Celtics?
Yeah. Maybe one of those situations. He slept with the wrong one. See, if you're gonna hook up with people at work, two things.
Oh, here we go. Uh-oh.
Terrell's tips for hooking up with people at work. Terrell's tips. One.
This is not what I meant when I said we need to bring back Terrell's tips. But go ahead. Let's hear this.
This is what the vodka does. If this was bourbon, I'd probably went totally. But here's what the vodka's telling me to tell you guys. For those of y'all religious, God is telling me to send you a message. Here's the two things you got to keep in mind if you're going to date someone at work. One,
put your hand on the screen.
What do they have to lose if this relationship doesn't go well? And what do you have to lose if the relationship doesn't go well? And then number two, can they keep their mouth shut? That's it.
Hey, everybody can keep their mouth shut when times are good. Is when they get pissed off that everybody opens up their mouth and says something. That's why you just don't do it.
Well, you know what? After everything that's been happening in the media, I'm like, I have some serious trust issues, because you have all these people that pull up random. You look at Herschel Walker And the woman that said, many years ago he paid for an abortion, she has saved text messages. She has notes he wrote, the receipts. Like, people hold on to some stuff. And I'm just like, I don't want somebody to hold on to something that I sent in a Teams chat or whatever. Like, hey, babe, you down for a nooner today in between meetings? I just wouldn't want that to come back to bite me in the ass.
First of all, you shouldn't be using your Teams chat for that. So never do that on your work computer. But two,
Okay,
as you just pointed out.
Tip number 3. Don't do it in Teams chat or Slack or anything like that.
And as you just pointed out, even your personal text messages are not safe because you send them to somebody that's theirs too. So if you have more to lose, they're going to, I'm screenshot. Let's keep this for a rainy day.
Still. It's just a mess. I've worked with people that the CEO was sleeping with people at the company, and
damn,
it was kind of like a known thing. And I was just like, I don't care as long as my paycheck doesn't bounce. You do what you got to do. As long as you're not impacting my job, you do whatever you need to do. That's fine. But for this couple, I just feel like there has to be more to it for them to have been taken off air over this.
If you're in management, I get it. Because when you're in management, there's a different level and you represent the company. When you're not, they're the talent. Now,
Right.
Granted, they're probably making more than management because they're talent, right? But at the same time, they're talent. And if you're just one of the employees, as long as it's disclosed, and it is now. I mean, whether they meant to disclose it or not, it's been disclosed. And people know about
now.
it. So.
Yeah, we know now. If you're in management, it's something you don't do. But this is 2 on-air personalities. Why can't they do that? And who knows? Their marriage just could have been jacked. They could have been separated for a year. We don't know all the details.
Yeah. Well, more of the details are going to come out. We'll find that out. You know what else we do know, though? I saw this MAFS fan on IG put this out. The new schedule is out. Terrell, it's great news for you because your favorite show returns even faster than you thought. We thought, season 16 was going to be
coming out earlier.
You thought that season 16, and I did too, was going to start January 28th. That's for some reason that date was in my mind, or somewhere around that time, right? Well, actually, now it's going to be the first week in January 4th. Married at First Sight, season 16 returns. So that means we're back for the recaps, January 4th. Well, Happy New Year.
I can't. Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Forget world peace and child hunger. No, what I wanted was Married at First Sight to come back earlier than January 20th. So thank you, baby Jesus. But what I'm excited about is doing these live because we'll watch it and then hop right on. We'll do it live. We'll have cocktails in hand, and who knows what's going to come out of my mouth.
Oh, boy.
And this, is it the first? What I want to find out is, are they going to do anything different this season than what they did last season, and what would it be? I have some suggestions if they want to reach out.
Okay. I can't even let this pass. What's one of your suggestions?
3 hours, first episode, all the weddings are complete.
I'm with that. Next one.
Less commercials.
That ain't gonna happen. Next one. Look, I'm gonna make it even worse for you. I'm sorry, because I was matter of fact, go ahead, give me the other one, because I'll tell you the details that we have from
every episode after the first episode, the premiere, should only be 1 hour, not 2.
They're saying expanded 90-minute episodes, so instead and they're saying 23 episode season.
So
we did 20 episodes last season. They're adding 3 additional episodes this year, and one of them is going to be, a couple of them are going to be Beyond the Decision Day, right? 3 additional episodes titled Beyond the Decision Day, where cameras will document the aftermath of Decision Day and what happens when the experiment ends and real life begins, but with cameras behind you. What?
It's going to be some bullshit. It's just annoying. So are we gonna go 0 for 5 again on this one? Well, actually, so far they're 1 for 5, right? for last season. It's just what's his name? Lindsay and Miguel.
Yeah, Looney. Yeah. At least we think so. They're still together.
Yeah, supposedly still together. I think everyone else ended, and I wonder if they're gonna have another No Bustin' Justin type character who's celibate.
You know, Dina's got a great point on this too, though. She's saying they're gonna have more couples saying yes with beyond the show because they want that check. Because that's again additional 3 episodes.
But no one's validated that they get an extra check, right? I've not seen it. It's been talked about, but no one's really confirmed that if you say yes, you get this bonus. And if you make it to the reunion, you get this bonus. Like, I don't know if it's set up that way. I'd be curious if it is, because I do wonder, do they say yes just to get through it or not? And my thought is, if you said no, then don't bring their ass back to the reunion. If, like a Morgan.
No, because you still want to know what happened.
No, with Morgan and Ben, we didn't need to see them again after that whole deal was over. Like, we all watched Ben hoping that he was gonna, like, you know, talk some shit for all the stuff that he heard Morgan say about him, and he was just a nice, sweet man and didn't do it. So, what's the point of them being on the reunion?
Well, put him on for a short period, find out that he's not going to say anything, get him out of there, make it easy. Yeah. So
she can come back and prove that she's a nurse and show everybody I'm a nurse.
Well, look, we'll be back again next week for another live as we get ready. Because again, as we come back on January 4th for the Married at First Sight recaps, starting even earlier than we expected. Looking forward to this, man. This is gonna be a good one. So definitely looking forward to that. But had a blast today. How'd you feel? First live out of the way. What do you think?
Good, and I think I'm gonna keep on the vodka train whenever we do this because.
Somebody's gonna send you some.
You know me when I drink the dark liquor. It's just kind of I can just say things, and so that's what I love. At times that we've been recording before, I could pause. You would edit out some of the stuff that would not make the that's just gonna stay on the cutting room floor, as you called it.
Yeah.
Now I have to be really mindful of what I'm saying because you never know.
They said it was gonna be the same experts, and I think Devon Franklin's coming back, and Dr. P as well. So, same people from last time. As a accomplished said, was asking anything about new experts now. Unfortunately, same experts. So,
I don't see what's his name did. Whoever that other guy was, everybody
Devon
was
Franklin.
About.
Yeah.
What did he do?
He made what's her name? Excited. That was about it. Hey, let's get out of here before your vodka kicks in, man. I'm Yanni Rude.
And I'm Just Terrell.
Hey, make sure you follow us at Yanni Rude, at Just Terrell, and at RGRT Pod.
Yeah, send us some of your random thoughts or some of the bullshit you found on the internet. We'll talk about it on our regular show.
It's the Regular Guys Random Thoughts Podcast. Cheers.
Cheers. Who dat?
The 49ers. That's who dat.
Not tonight. It's the Bucks and Saints.
Yes, you're right. It's the Bucks.